Recently, we've been getting a lot more reports of lawmakers working together and trying to pass certain bills. One of those is a $350 per month child tax credit payment. This is called the Family Security Act 2.0. And in today's video, I want to explain how this actually works, where the money's coming from, what social programs could potentially get reduced or completely eliminated, and who would qualify for any of these payments. Now, let's break down how this actually works. And first off, understand that this was written, okay? The the Family Security Act 1.0, the original version. This was originally proposed by Senator Mitt Romney out of Utah. He now has written the second one, the Family Security Act 2.0. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Now, I want to explain what this bill actually entails, how this is different, and why many Democrats are still against this at this time. And again, Democrats are trying to get some form of relief to the American people, and a child tax credit payment would do just that. The problem is they don't like what is in this bill. Let me explain. And let's first talk about what Democrats are wanting in a child tax credit payment. Because this is the problem, is that you have Democrats that they're not asking for something that's completely out of this world, but at the same time, neither are Republicans. They're trying to come up with some form of a bipartisan deal, which the problem is that they are still too far apart. Because here's what Democrats want, and then I'll explain what Senator Mitt Romney is proposing. So Democrats, they want to make sure that every person who has a child is eligible for the payment, no matter your income, no matter your eligibility status. As far as, are you a citizen? Do you have a ITIN number? Those types of things. They also want to ensure that the funding is not coming from any existing social program, that it's new funding. Obviously, Republicans have an issue with this. We also know they want to create the funding necessary for this bill by taxing large corporations and wealthier individuals. That's what they've said all along. They haven't changed from this. It's the same story. So keep this in mind as I explain the Family Security Act 2.0. Okay? Again, and how this is put together. Here's what we know. Only those people in the United States with a social security number would qualify. Parents would also have to make over $10,000 per year in order to qualify. If you make less, you get nothing. A person who has a child between the ages of 0 to 5, they will get $350 per month or $4,200 per year. A person with a child between the ages of 6 and 17 would receive $250 per month or $3,000 per year. Pregnant women would get $2,800. And yes, in this bill, you can be pregnant and you can have a child at the same time. I know, it's crazy, the world that we live in, but it can happen. So a pregnant woman would get $2,800, okay? And let's say you have a child that is 6, you would also get $3,000. So for that year, you would get $5,800, okay? And again, here's another issue that Democrats have. If you have a family with, say, multiple children, say you have 6 children, 7 children, doesn't matter, there would be a maximum amount that you could get of $1,250 per month. This comes up to $15,000 per year. Now, the problem with a lot of these is, and again, remember what I said earlier, that Democrats don't want to pull from existing programs. They don't want to do this. They don't want to have limits as to how much people could get, because some people do have more than 5 children. And so if you are, you have 6 or 7 children, now you're being punished. That's the way Democrats are thinking. Okay? Republicans are thinking, well, $1,250 per month, that's a pretty good amount of money, that if you have more than 5 children, well, that's kind of on you. So remember that. But again, remember this other thing. Senator Mitt Romney said that he crafted a bill that would actually cost $0. This is exactly what Republicans want. But how did he craft a bill that costs $0? Well, let me explain. The bill, the way it is written right now, would actually work as follows. It will cost $0 in new funding because the bill would actually eliminate and greatly reduce tax credits for parents. I want to explain where this is coming from. And one of the things it would do is actually get rid of the head of household tax deduction. This is pretty much meant for single parents. I'm no tax expert, okay? Definitely not a tax expert. But from what I understand, this is meant for single parents. Now, not only does it get rid of this tax deduction, but in the bill itself, it states that it's promoting marriage. That's what it's doing. It wants people to not just be single head of household, you're raising your child, but go get married, right? That's what they're wanting. Because if there's not really a true benefit between being single and being married, why would people get married? Okay, now again, I am married, okay, absolutely love it. But at the same time, some people, that's the way they're thinking. Well, if there's not really a financial incentive to get married, why should we do that when we could get let's say myself and my wife, let's say we were not married, what if we could get more benefits by being single? That's what Republicans want is no, let's not have everybody being single, but technically they're together. Let's make sure everybody is getting married. So again, this actually promotes marriage. Here's another thing. By getting rid of the head of household filing status, Republicans say that this would save roughly $16 billion per year. Okay, remember that number. Because, remember when I said Senator Mitt Romney figured out a way to make sure we can pass this bill and it costs $0. Well, this is one way, by saving money elsewhere. In Romney's proposal, it also eliminates the SALT tax deduction. This is something that we saw a cap on under former President Donald Trump, is he put a cap of $10,000 on SALT tax deductions. Now, this elimination would actually save about $25 billion per year, but Democrats don't like this because number one, it would increase their taxes, especially wealthier Democrats in states that you'll charge taxes, right? California, New York, places like that. But not only that, but Democrats, they didn't want to eliminate this deduction. They want to increase it past $10,000 per year. Guess what? It would have saved them more money. But now, if it's eliminated, it would cost them more money. Here's the other thing. In this proposal, Senator Mitt Romney, he's calling to eliminate the earned income tax credit. Now, this is actually a pretty big credit for more than 30 million people. And in this, the lower amount of income that you make per year, plus the more children that you have, usually means you get a little bit more of a return. So by eliminating this and providing a child tax credit payment, Republicans say that what they're doing is saving the government money at the tune of about $45 billion per year. Again, remember that number. Now we're up to about $70 billion per year. This is just coming, we're up to 25, 45, 16. We're about $86 billion per year. This is coming from eliminating the head of household status, eliminating SALT tax deductions, and eliminating the earned income tax credits. Okay? Big eliminations right there. One other that's going to be about a $5 billion savings per year is to pretty much eliminate the child care tax credit. And this is coming for people that are paying for child care throughout the year. At the end of the year, you get a little bit of a deduction for it, right? Because you're paying for somebody to help raise your children. So that would save about $4.7 billion per year. So it gets us just under $100 billion per year. And Republicans say this would be a huge savings. And this money, this $100 billion per year, could then be used for child tax credit payments. But again, this is something that Democrats don't like because we're eliminating some of these payments. And instead, we'll funnel the money through a child tax credit payment. So that is what is going on at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all these news and updates. But let me know, what are your thoughts? Do you think this has some legs to stand on? In my opinion, yes. The Family Security Act 2.0, this has some merit. This has a legitimate chance of passing, but not the way it is currently written. There's still a lot of changes. There's still a lot of things that have to be done to try to reach a bipartisan agreement, but I think this is getting closer. So, as we know more, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.